This started when my dad passed away a couple of years ago. He'd been the one holding our family up, working overtime to keep us afloat. My mom hadn't had a job for over a year at that point and never bothered to try looking for one. So when he passed, I was the only one working. I'm still working there, but it was and still is less profitable than my dad's job. We mom brothers and I moved and received the life insurance money not long after. At this point, I'd already spent most of my savings helping us move and pay the last couple of months of rent and groceries we needed to survive. Lots of all this money I spent trying to help. I was told I would get every penny back. I've received maybe $100 so far. I was 18 at this point, and a lot of pressure had been put on me to fill my dad's role as caretaker for a while. Something I felt I shouldn't have had to do at that age, or even now for that matter. Throughout the past year and a half, she's been terrified of any expense that wasn't absolutely essential. The tires for her car went onto my credit card. At this point, I didn't have my own car, so she was my transportation. Big security system for our house, almost $400 of expense, which still hasn't been set up, also fell on me. Life continues like this for a while. The insurance money lasted us for a while, up until very recently. It taped. Then she waited until after our rent was due to tell me she didn't have any money and needed help with the rent. At this point, I've just purchased my first car and am paying for our phone, internet, car, and for the past few months of utilities. At Perry, I was able to pitch in $300 towards rent, but the rest had to go elsewhere. She asked me to apply for a loan when she told me she didn't have rent money. She says she's been applying to jobs, but hasn't gotten anything back from any of them. I don't believe her. She's not sick, not disabled. Basically, it hasn't really gone anywhere whenever we do talk about her employment. I told my few closest friends what was going on and my job. I was approved for overtime at work, but even with that, I'd still have to work a second job to get my family through. My friends have finally had it with how I've been forced into this caretaker role, and one of them spoke with their landlord about the potential of letting me rent a room like he is. I was given an offer of $400 a month. I'm ready to move through with it. Mom doesn't know anything yet. At this point in time, after keeping track of everything I've been promised, I would be paid back for. I'm owed over $10,000. So my question is, am I the idiot for leaving my brothers and jobless mom behind to start independently because I can no longer afford to live with them? Edit, both of my brothers are still in high school. The 19-year-old wants to go to college to teach. Not sure how to go with that, but I obviously wish him the best with it. As for the teen, he's been in and out of doctors' offices and appointments a lot over the past few months. I don't really expect either of them to work. I started by choice, and I hope they take their education to college. But just like with me, it's not their responsibility. If for some reason, Mother seems to see that as it should be mine, but not theirs because they're not working. Want the idiot. Spoiler alert, she hasn't been applying to jobs. She wanted you to take out the loan, Not only because she wouldn't be approved for one, but also because it would make you the responsible one for paying it back instead of her. Don't do it. I find it hard to believe that a single place has not called her back in a year and a half of applying to jobs. I can also not imagine placing the burden of supporting a household of 4 people for a 21-year-old or being comfortable racking up credit card debt on my child's dime. You're not the idiot. I would talk to her and say something like, "Mom, I love you, but I've spent over $10,000 trying to help this family get back on its feet, and I can't do it anymore. You're not your father. Your mom is living off your back. I'm sad to say it, but she's basically leeching you. It's not your responsibility to martyr yourself for these parasites. Look, your mother and the 19-year-old can get jobs. They just don't want to. Your relatives are using you. Get out now while it's only $10K, because it'll only get bigger, and you'll never see a penny of it back. Go. Start to live your own independent life." Exactly. Get out now before that 10K turns into 100K, and do what you can for your brothers. But unless you want to have your mom living off of you forever, just leave now while you can. Your mother took advantage of your dad, and now she's taking advantage of you. I highly recommend taking this new apartment and focusing first and foremost on supporting yourself. If something were to happen to you tomorrow, your mother would start job hunting, and your siblings would look for part-time jobs, and they'd work it out. So I have a daughter. I'm in tween with my ex, Lisa, and a son stepson actually. Luke, 18, with my wife, Sadie. I broke up with Lisa when my daughter was born because she was having affairs behind my back. Luke's father has been absent from his life, and I've taken care of him since he was 10. Carmen's very into ballet, and her club holds many recitals once a month and a big recital once a year. Luke's very into theater, and his club does 4 plays a year. I've been to almost all of their events. This month, however, the mini recital and the play came on the same day in a way that was impossible for me to go to both. In the end, after a lot of thinking, I decided to go to Luke's for the following reasons. It's Luke's last play since he's going to college, and he has the lead role. I didn't promise either of them that I would be at their thing, by the way. I let them know the day before, because I'm in the medical sector and usually get called in for emergencies or other reasons. I told Carmen I wouldn't be able to come to the recital and explained to her why, and she was really understanding. I do have to buy her ice cream though. My ex-brother-in-law was going in my place, so I asked him for a recording so I could watch it with Carmen when it was my custody time. After the play was done, my ex called me and told me I was an idiot for skipping my daughter's event for someone else's kid. She got my mom into this, and she's telling me the same thing. I don't think what I did was wrong, but just to make sure. Am I the idiot for missing my daughter's ballet recital to go see my son's play? I'm the idiot. I think your reasons are fair, and you even told your daughter you're claiming she was all right with it, and you just have to buy her ice cream to make up for it. You even asked your brother-in-law to record it, so it wasn't like you didn't want to see her ballet recital. Oddly, the adult. Your ex is angrier than the child. It was petty of Lisa to bring your mom into this. Ignore these two? Yeah, if the kid is happy, what are the adults complaining about? It's not like OP can be in two places at once, unless he would more often favor one kid over the other, which he says he doesn't. But I don't see an issue. Also, ice cream is a good bribe. Up's cheating ex is just trying to cause drama where there is none. It's like a specialty shared by all idiot exes all across the planet. Ignore the ex. If it wasn't this, they'd probably just be complaining and blaming you about something else. Rate her as the hot air that she is. Focus only on your daughter and your son. Oh, and discuss with your mom about butting into what is none of her business. Why is she listening to your cheating ex about anything? And why doesn't she appear to see your son as one of her grandkids? My wife has been sad and upset about how I overlooked getting a gift for her on Mother's Day. We welcomed our first kid a few months ago, so she's a first-time mom. The reason I didn't get her a gift wasn't because I don't love her or anything. I always get her gifts on her birthdays and our anniversary. I also get her a gift on Women's Day. I didn't get one for Mother's Day because it's about honoring my mom. So like she get her mom a gift. I get my mom a gift. But my wife's not my mom. She's my wife. She said that's not how it works and that she's the mother of my kid and she'd like to be honored on that day by me too. I told her she'll be honored when our kids grow and shower her with gifts. I just don't understand why I have to get her a gift as well because she's my wife, not my mom. And by that logic, I should get gifts for all the moms I know, including my friends and my sisters. She said I can't be seriously comparing her to her friends and sisters, and insisted I'm the mother of your kid. She also brought up how her dad always got Mother's Day gifts for his wife and his mom, and all the men she knows do that. And she's hurt to see me dismissing her feelings. I grew pretty tired of that argument and left because she was acting so materialistic over this. I told my mom about it, and she said that my wife was a crybaby. My two sisters were also present when I visited my mom, and they started cussing me out, saying I was an idiot. There was a whole argument between my mom, me, and my sister, with my sister saying that my mom and I are ridiculous and unreasonable. You are the idiot. Mother's Day is about honoring mothers. It's not like you're opposed to the holiday. You do get your own mom a gift. You should have gotten her something to celebrate her being a mom to your child. People celebrate their moms, their friends who are moms, their aunts and grandmothers, and their honorary moms. That's what the day is about. This being our first Mother's Day just made it worse. And then you run home to Mama to get validation for your lack of celebrating your wife. Dude, seriously? Are you really making such a big deal about spending $50 on flowers and some nice chocolates and a heartfelt card? That's some gross mama's boy garbage logic you got there. You better adult up real soon or your wife is gonna get really tired of taking care of two kids when she only signed up for one at the moment. So please go buy her something, write a beautiful card. Go home to your wife if she hasn't kicked you out yet and sincerely apologize to her. Giving birth is a physically and emotionally taxing process. And the adjustment for someone relying on you for their every need, as well as being constantly sleep-deprived, means that she's probably had a difficult past 3 months. Just writing off your wife's reasonable request probably hurt her a lot due to all of that. So at the minimum, apologize and get her something. I bet if Op had been the one to go through pregnancy, childbirth, and postpartum fun times, he'd be screaming for a Maserati. What an idiot. Dude, sounds like your mom doesn't want to share her day. But the way she talks about her daughter-in-law, red flag. You are the idiot, and so is your mother. Listen to your sisters, because they're right. Don't be surprised when you get nothing for Father's Day. Sadly, wife seems like she might be the kind of person that, despite Op's terrible behavior, she'll choose to honor him on Father's Day because that's the right thing to do. Shame on you. B. You made your wife feel insignificant. Hopefully, the child's future stepfather will be a better person. Over the last couple of years, I lost nearly 80 pounds through extreme dedication to dieting and exercise. It's been a life-changing journey for me. The journey started when my doctors warned me about my poor cardiovascular health because of my unhealthy eating habits and lifestyle. This went 30 right around the corner. I couldn't keep being the man I was before. It was a significant wake-up call. I tried immediately, just focusing on going hard in the gym, but I tried lifting weights without eating correctly and pretty much fried my CNS during deadlifts, causing me to pass out at the gym. It scared me. Since then, I've taken my health incredibly seriously. I prep all my meals, which are calculated to meet my daily nutritional needs, and keep a caloric deficit to keep me on track for losing weight. In addition, I've avoided eating out at all costs, as it feels like a slippery slope back to my old habits. For me, restaurants are like relapsing on a drug. A cider or one bite of a cheese-stick egg roll, and I'm buying Oreos on the way home and falling off the wagon. My girlfriend has been supportive of my health journey but hasn't joined me. She still cooks and eats as she did before, which is a lot of food covered in fats and sugars with a lot of calories. I appreciate her cooking, but I can't eat the meals she makes most of the time. It's been a strain on our relationship, but we've managed. So boom, the conflict arose on our anniversary last month. She wanted to go out to a fancy restaurant to celebrate, and I wanted to make the night special, and I agreed to go. I even made sure I had calories left over to have drinks with dinner. However, I didn't want to break my diet, and brought a prepped meal in the car before we went in. She discovered what I was doing and got really upset. She called me an idiot for not putting aside my diet for one night, saying I cared more about my food intake than about our special day. She said that I was being selfish and that I should have been more considerate of her feelings since it was our anniversary. I feel conflicted. On the one hand, I understand where she's coming from, and I didn't mean to upset her. But on the other hand, I've worked really hard to improve my health, and I'm scared of falling back into old habits. Am I the idiot for sticking to my diet, even on our anniversary? Perceptions. I'm 5'4" and 297 pounds currently. Sorry, but you are the idiot. This is your responsibility to address, man. You have an extremely unhealthy relationship with food you need to work on, probably with a professional. I get that this started for the right reasons. Still, you have wildly overcorrected, and it seems like you're pretty firmly in Ed territory. Your so has been supportive and wanted one dinner with you for your anniversary. You shouldn't be in a relationship if you can't do this for her. It's bare minimum stuff. Your mental health is important. Take care of it. I hope you do, because what you describe is not sustainable or normal, and it won't end well. Isn't that what he's doing? He's basically an addict, and it makes sense that he doesn't want to risk a relapse. This guy was nearly 400 pounds, so he has an unhealthy relationship with food and still needs to lose almost half of his current body weight to be healthy. Food can be quite addictive to some people. His diet is absolutely helping him. BOP is not the idiot. Exactly. Imagine people talking this way about another addiction. One cigarette won't hurt you. You couldn't just have one shot with her. Op's partner knew about the diet and knew Op had been fighting to get healthy. The girlfriend is the idiot here. She knew that Op didn't want to eat out and still pressed it. Op tried to compromise by eating something in the car in order to be there with his girlfriend and have drinks. I wonder if the girlfriend might be trying to sabotage the diet in order to keep up with her. I'm finding myself in a bit of a family drama, and I'm not sure if I am the one at fault here. A 26 female have been engaged to my partner 27 male for over a year. We've been meticulously planning our dream wedding, which is scheduled for later this year. It's been stressful, but we're both super excited. Now on to the issue at hand. My younger sister, Emily, 24 years old, announced last week that she's pregnant. It was a surprise, but our family is supportive and we're all happy for her. The problem? Her due date is just a few days before my wedding. Emily asked me to move my wedding date so she could comfortably attend and enjoy the day. She fears she'll either be heavily pregnant or just have given birth around my wedding date. I was shocked by her request. We've booked the venue, sent out invites, arranged catering, and everything else. Plus, our wedding date has a special significance to us. It's the anniversary of when we first met. I refused and told Emily that while I understand her concern, it's not feasible to reschedule everything now. She didn't take it well and said I was selfish, prioritizing my wedding over her first child. My parents are trying to stay neutral, but I can tell they're upset with the situation too. So now I'm getting the cold shoulder from Emily and some passive-aggressive comments from my relatives. I'm feeling guilty and second-guessing my decision, but I feel like I'm being asked to give up a lot here. So am I the idiot for not changing my wedding date for my sister's pregnancy? Not the idiot. I've been planning this day for 18 months. But you'll only have been planning it for 9. You'll only have been planning it for 9. So please move your delivery date up a month or 2 instead. Is anyone who complains, you can ask for a refund for all the deposits you lost for canceling. I know that's not your only reason, but maybe it'll shut them up. As you pointed out, not only is the date important to you and your intended, but a substantial amount of money has already been spent. This is your wedding and is one of the most important days of your life with the person you love. However, your sister's impending delivery of a child is her business, not yours, and you're under no obligation to change long-standing plans because she demands it. Exactly. She's pregnant, not disabled. These women are perfectly capable of doing things up to, and including on their due date. They're also perfectly capable of going out and about with a newborn if they're comfortable with that. As unless it's a high-risk pregnancy or other complications, she needs to suck it up. Her pregnancy doesn't make her more important than you.